All right, let's jump right in. We're all thinking about how to stay strong, how to stay independent as the years go by. Well, today, we're going to break down a really simple but super powerful routine. It's designed to do exactly that. We're talking about a 5-minute plan to fight back against that muscle loss that happens to all of us. And boom, this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? Take a look at this. After you turn 30, you start losing 5 to 10% of your muscle density every single decade. This isn't some weird, rare condition. Nope, it's a basic part of getting older. It starts quietly, you don't even notice it at first, but believe me, over the decades, that adds up to something huge. Okay, I know, that sounds a little scary, right? But here's the good news. Here's where we turn it all around. What if you could fight back? And what if it didn't take hours and hours at the gym? What if it just took 5 minutes a day? That's the big idea here. A tiny, manageable habit that could have a massive, massive payoff for your health down the road.
So before we get to the solution, we've got to really understand the problem. I mean, what is this unseen decline? Let's give it a name and take a peek at what's actually going on inside our bodies.
Okay, here's the fancy medical term for it. Sarcopenia. I know, it sounds a little intimidating, but all it really means is the muscle and strength we lose as we get older, without even trying to. This isn't because you got lazy or stopped going to the gym. It's just a natural process, but it's one we absolutely have to fight against. So why does this matter so much? I mean, who cares, right? Well, it's about so much more than just looking fit or being able to lift a heavy box. Losing muscle messes with our balance, our metabolism, even our ability to do simple, everyday things. It's about staying independent. It's about living the life you want to live. And this chart, wow, it really paints a picture. You can see it right there. At age 30, you're at the top of the mountain, peak muscle density. But then, look at the drop by 60, and then again by 80. It's so clear. If you wait to do something about it, you're starting from way, way down in the valley, trying to climb back up. But, and this is the most important part, this is not your destiny. It is not inevitable. Yes, the decline is natural, but how much you decline, that's up to you. You are in the driver's seat here. You have the power to slow it down, stop it in its tracks, and maybe even get some of that strength back.
Which brings us to the how. How do we do it? We call it the Daily 5. This is your secret weapon. It's simple, anyone can do it, and it's backed by science. And why these specific 5 exercises? Well, because they're a total package. They hit all the big, important muscle groups you need to stay independent. We're talking legs for getting around, your core for stability, and your upper body for all that lifting and pushing we do every day. That's it, just 5. 5 exercises, 5 minutes. That's the only number you need to keep in your head. We're getting rid of all the complicated stuff and just focusing on what actually works and what you can actually stick with. All right, enough talk, let's get down to business. We're gonna walk through each of these 5 movements step by step, and you're gonna see just how easy and doable they really are. First up is the sit to stand. Seriously, this might be one of the most important exercises on the planet. Think about it. How many times a day do you get up from a chair, or the couch, or out of the car? 100? This movement is life. So here's how you do it. The big word here is control. Sit on the edge of a chair, get your feet flat on the floor. Now, without using your hands, push through your heels and stand up nice and tall. Then the hard part, slowly, with total control, sit back down. No plopping back into the chair. That slow descent is where the magic happens. Okay, next up, the calf raise. Now, this one seems so simple, you might think it's not a big deal, but trust me, it is huge. This is all about ankle stability and balance. And you know what that means? It's a secret weapon for preventing falls. So just stand tall, maybe hold on to a counter or a chair for a little support, and then slowly raise your heels off the floor. Feel that squeeze in your calf muscles? Hold it for just a second, and then slowly lower them back down, nice and smooth. All right, let's give the upper body some love with the wall press. Think of this as a push-up for everybody. It's a super safe way to build strength in your chest, your shoulders, and your arms without getting down on the floor. So you just stand facing a wall about arm's length away. Put your palms on the wall about shoulder height. Now keep your body straight like a plank and bend your elbows, bringing yourself towards the wall. Then push firmly back out. Easy, right? Okay, exercise number 4, the overhead press. Every time you put something away on a high shelf or lift your bag into the overhead bin on a plane, that's this move. This is what keeps those everyday tasks strong and safe. And you can do this sitting or standing, whatever's comfortable. You don't need fancy weights. Grab a couple of soup cans, seriously. Hold them at your shoulders, and then just press them straight up overhead. Don't lock your elbows at the top. Then, nice and slow, bring them back down to your shoulders. And last, but definitely not least, we have the lunge. This one is an absolute powerhouse. It builds incredible lower body strength, and that's the key to, well, everything. Walking, climbing stairs, and maybe most importantly, catching yourself if you start to trip. Now, don't be afraid of this one. Use a chair for balance. That's totally fine. Take a nice, controlled step forward. The goal is to lower your hips straight down until both knees are bent at about a 90-degree angle. Super important. Keep that front knee behind your toes, then push off that front foot and come right back to the start. Then do the other leg. And that's it. That's the Daily 5. Pretty simple, right? So let's just quickly recap the big ideas here, the things you really need to remember as you get started. First thing, yeah, sarcopenia is real, but it does not get to be the boss of you. Second, consistency is king. It's not about going hard once a week, it's about doing a little something every single day. That's how you build real strength. Third, remember these 5 exercises were chosen for a reason, to protect your independence. And finally, look, the best time to start was 20 years ago. But the second best time? It's right now. Today. So please, don't look at this as just another thing on your to-do list. This isn't a chore. Think of it as an investment, a tiny 5-minute investment in yourself, in your future. This is you building the foundation for decades of strong, confident, independent living. It's simple, it works, and anyone can do it. There's really only one question left to ask. Are you ready to get started?